A lot of us are afraid to fail. A lot of us have fear. I know we asked the question at the beginning of the call about, what prevents you from getting a seat at the table and having a say and directing things or making things happen. Part of it's fear, and a huge fear that a lot of us, including myself, have is a fear of failure. But I'll tell you, getting over that fear and actually failure is one of the best educational tools one can have. And if you take as we say, always take the good with the bad. You take some of that failure, you can learn a lot. You can learn about what, if you apply that and introspectively and self-aware, if you're self-aware and you study what you did, you'll come out of it much stronger and you'll bring back to that table something more and something better. And so I think failure is an important also toolkit, if you will, in that language of business and really driving for success.
Because it's a lesson, right? So what has been one of those failure moments in your life? What did
I
you
don't know
learn?
where to begin, Brandi. There's many of them.
Listen, just give us that, the top of line, give us that one that really transformed you in a way that made you stronger, that made you better. And it can be personal, it can be in business, it can be one of those things.
I'll give a business example. And so as a merchant banker, we would go into these businesses, these high growth businesses, and provide them with not only money, capital, but also a lot of heavy lifting, hard work. We would get in and help them strategize and almost mentor the business along, right? And really do deep dive into the business and understand it. And so we spent a lot of time and a lot of capital on one particular business. And for a whole variety of reasons, I wouldn't call it a failure. We made some money, but we didn't make what we thought was going to be the return we were going to. And it was a huge investment of time. It was a good 4 or 5 years of time of guiding this business and growing this business, but we didn't get it to where we needed to. And to us, that was a failure. But what came out of that was a fundamental understanding of, in this particular case, this morphed into, and I started a mental health services business. So it helped situate us and me to be able to look at a particular problem that exists in the workplace, which is when people go off of work because of mental health issues and mental health related matters. So they're on disability, they're not able to work, their employers are still paying for them, or some portion of them, or at least their insurers are, and the employer is having to hire somebody else. So, the employer is paying effectively double for it. The person is suffering. And through this, we were able to really learn and understand that there's a fulsome need for, alleviating these situations by bringing a medical model virtually to that employee who's off work, getting them a proper assessment, diagnosis, and treatment plan, and then getting them the treatment they need, both from a drug or pharmacotherapy perspective and what we call psychotherapy. The most common form used is something called cognitive behavioral therapy. So through this whole failure, what we deemed a failure, we came up with the genesis of this business, which we call Bridge Med Health, which now services, hundreds of employees at hundreds of employers, mostly in Canada, but looking to expand into the United States and other international jurisdictions, and really having an impact on their lives. It's a win-win-win scenario for everybody. The insurance company and the companies are saving money. They're getting a huge return on investment from it. The employees who are sick are getting the mental health care and attention that they need, the specialized care, which is lifelong for them, because we really work to getting these people back to work forever, not in the short term. And it's having an amazing financial return for us. So that's an example where we took what I would call a bit of a failure and made it into something positive.